Hannah and I tested the effect of worm concentration in soil on the quantity of water filtration. Some key points are water filtration, earthworm significance, and relevances of this experiment. Water filtration through soil is important for health of plant ecosystems. Soil cleans water since it holds pollutants such as living organisms and harmful chemicals. Water filtration through soil also allows plants to have more access to water. Earthworms are a component that helps soil health. They feed on debris such as dead roots, leaves, grass, and manure. Their digestive systems focus on organic and mineral ingredients in the debris that they eat. Earthworm casts are also crucial to soil, giving it rich nutrients which they leave in their tunnels. Earthworm casts are essentially all the soil, mud, and sand that earthworms throw up. Earthworm casts also stick soil particles together, which stores moisture for plants in the soil. Earthworms increase the amount of air that enters the soil as well, which is necessary to aerate it. Soil that contains earthworms can filter water 6 times greater than soil without worms. This allows plants to get access to water faster. The main relevance of this experiment is the creation of clean water through soil filtration. This is important for the Earth's ecosystem. In places like northern Africa, they drink contaminated water, which is a main cause of death. With more water filtration of water by soil, the Earth's population could have more access to clean drinking water. Another relevance is identifying what promotes filtration through soil, such as earthworms that keeps plants healthy through moisture availability. With more access to water, plants will have a higher growth rate. Plants are crucial to life on Earth since they provide nutrients to humans and animal life and also take in carbon dioxide from the environment and produce oxygen. Our hypothesis was that if the amount of earthworm concentration in the soil is increased, then more water filtration occurs in the soil because earthworms remove waste and debris, allowing more transmission through the soil. To do this experiment, we had to construct enclosures. First, we took a cup and cut the entire bottom out. Then we took a cheesecloth and put it on top of the cup. There was still a little of the cloth that fell over the sides of the cup, so we taped it to secure it. Then we took a container and cut out the entire bottom as well. We then put the container on top of the cup and duct taped them together. We put the entire enclosure on a plate to catch the filtered water. Once the enclosure was built, we made 3 more. Once all of them were built, we added soil to fill up about half of the container. In the first enclosure, we put 0 worms, which was our control group. In the others, we put 4 in one, 8 in the next, and 16 in the last one. We poured 50 milliliters of water into each container and let them sit for 12 hours. Once that time was up, we poured the water into a beaker and recorded the volume. We did this for another 3 trials and then averaged the data.
This graph shows the average amount of water that was filtered and the standard error based on the amount of worms in the soil. The average for 0 worms was 13.39, for 4 was 17.78, for 8 was 22.5, and for 16 was 29.83. This figure shows how an increased amount of worms affected the average amount of milliliters of water that transferred through the soil. Overall, our hypothesis was proven. The soil that contained more worms was able to allow more water to pass through. This is relevant because soil permeability can affect many aspects of gardening and farming, including supply of root zone air, moisture, and nutrients available for plant uptake. It also ensures that roots are receiving the proper amount of water. Plants absorb most of their water from their roots, which burrow deep into the soil. In order for the roots to absorb the water, it needs to be able to make its way through the surface of the soil and down to the roots. As per usual, there's always a possibility of human error, which could potentially change the data. To decrease the chance of error, we kept certain things constant, including the type of soil, the type and size of worms, the location of the experiment, the time of day that the experiment was conducted, and the type of water being measured. Obviously, the measuring could not have always been exact, and there could also have been other kinds of bugs or organisms present in the soil, as it was from an outside source. There are some things that we could have changed, and that we would like to change in the future, including the length of we can measure the length of the worms measured so that they're closer in size, and the water and soil could be exactly measured. We could ask questions such as, are all of the worms the same in age, size, and health? What other types of worms also support the hypothesis? And in the future, the cleanliness of the water could also be measured. In conclusion, when earthworm's concentration in soil is increased, more water filtration occurs in the soil, which can benefit the plants going in the soil and the soil itself. Overall, our experiment was a success.